Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Let's just get some people filing in and we will get the show on the road here. Right. So this is a very common trope that we hear all the time. Why are you atheists so angry? Why can't you just let religion be? Why can't you just let people be? Well, it's a multifaceted thing. There are lots of different reasons why different atheists get into this mind space where they want to push back, and you have to, in order to ask the question, "Why are you so angry?" You need to have actually stirred up some big Sheila for people to get angry at you, right? But yeah, let's get that show on the road. Let's get this going. Okay, listen, pull up a chair. We need to have a very proper chat because I think there's a bit of a disconnect. Being an atheist in a world that's basically marinated in religion is, well, it's an experience. It's not that we're all sitting in dark basements plotting the downfall of the church. Most of us are just trying to get through our day, pay our taxes, and figure out why the Wi-Fi is acting up again. But then you run into these pet peeves. It's like a recurring glitch in the matrix. You're at a braai, minding your own business, and someone drops a line they think is incredibly profound. But to a skeptic, it's like hearing a toddler explain how the fridge works. It's cute the first time, it's exhausting the 400th time. Human beings are fascinating, aren't we? We are the only species that can build a Hadron Collider and then refuse to walk under a ladder because it's bad luck. We have this desperate, hardwired need to find patterns in the static, even if those patterns are just us talking to ourselves in the dark. I'm not saying this to be mean, I'm saying it because if we are going to coexist without me constantly looking like I've got a migraine, we need to clear the air on these specific tropes. So let's go through the top 10 things that make an atheist want to gently faceplant into a bowl of potato salad. Number 1. It takes more faith to be an atheist. First up, the classic. It takes more faith to be an atheist than a believer. Honestly, I mean, who started this? It's a brilliant bit of marketing, I'll give it that. It tries to drag us down to the same mud pit so that we can all be equally confused. But it's a total category error. It's like saying it takes no more effort to not collect stamps than it does to collect them. Think about it. If I tell you there is a giant, invisible, silent giraffe sitting in your backyard and you say, I don't see any evidence for that, does it take faith for you not to believe in the giraffe? Of course not. You are just looking at an empty backyard and reporting what you see, or rather what you don't see. Atheism isn't a belief. I'm not trying to protect it like a fragile Ming vase. It's just the result of looking at the universe and saying, I don't see the receipts. Calling that faith is like calling off a TV channel. It's a linguistic trick that's used to make the lack of evidence feel like a choice rather than an observation. Humankind loves this trick because it levels the playing field. If everything is faith, then nobody has to be right, And if nobody has to change their mind, it's the ultimate intellectual safety blanket. But for those of us standing out in the rain without a blanket, it just feels like you're trying to convince us that getting wet is actually a form of staying dry. Pet peeve number 2. Pascal's wager. What if you are wrong? Then we have what if you're wrong, also known as Pascal's wager. This is the ultimate insurance salesman pitch for the soul. The idea that you should just believe in case. Because the cost of being wrong is what? Eternal fire. While the cost of being right is just, well, going to church on Sundays. It's a terrible bet. It assumes there's only one door to choose from. In reality, there are thousands of religions. If I pick the wrong one, I'm still going to somebody else's version of hell anyway. If I choose door A, the guy behind door B is still going to be miffed. It's like being told I should buy a lottery ticket for every single lottery on earth just in case. My wallet and my brain would be empty in a week. Also, what kind of God is fooled by just in case belief? Oh, I didn't really think you existed, but I'd figured I'd say the words so I didn't get toasted. If a God is all-knowing, he is going to see through that fake it until you make it attitude in a heartbeat. It turns faith into a cynical transaction, a cosmic get-out-of-jail-free card. It's an astute observation of humans that we are so terrified of the what if that we are willing to abandon what is. We'd rather live a lie that feels safe than an uncomfortable truth. It is the ultimate FOMO, fear of missing out, on heaven. But honestly, if heaven is filled with people who only got in on a technicality, is the coffee even going to be that good? Number 3. This one is actually quite funny, but also deeply patronizing. You are just mad at God. It implies that I actually believe in a deity, but we're having a falling out, like some messy breakup on a soap opera. Oh, we're not speaking right now. He knows what he did. Let's be real. Are you mad at Zeus? Are you mad at Voldemort? Are you furious with the Tooth Fairy for not leaving you enough money under your pillow in 1994? Of course not. You can't be mad at something that you don't think is real. When an atheist gets angry, they aren't shaking their fists at the clouds. They're usually frustrated with religion and how it impacts the real world. We are frustrated that people use ancient texts to justify excluding others, or that science funding gets cut because of dogma. It's like being frustrated by a bad HOA rule. I'm not mad at the spirit of the neighborhood. I'm annoyed that I can't paint my door blue because of a rule someone wrote 50 years ago. Humans love this mad at God narrative because it's easier to dismiss somebody as emotional or hurt rather than it is to engage with their actual arguments. If I'm just mad, you can pray for my healing. If I'm right, you might have to rethink your whole life. And we all know which path is easier to take. Number 4, the morality question. Then we get this heavy hitter. If you don't believe in God, where do you get your morals? This one always cracks me up. It's the ultimate accidental self-own. People are basically saying, if I didn't think a giant invisible eye was watching me, I'd be out there stealing cars and punching grandmas. Really? Is that all that's stopping you? Because if the only thing keeping you from being a monster is the fear of a cosmic cage, you aren't actually a good person. You are just a disciplined prisoner. An atheist who does the right thing because they care about other people is arguably more moral than somebody doing it for a reward in the afterlife. We are social animals. We evolved to cooperate because the guys who didn't cooperate got kicked out of the tribe and eaten by lions. Empathy isn't a divine gift. It is a survival mechanism. We care about our families and our neighbors because that's how we find happiness and security. We don't need a 2,000-year-old book to tell us that hurting people is a bad vibe. It says a lot about humankind that we don't trust ourselves. We've convinced ourselves that we're naturally fallen or evil and that we need a celestial manager to keep us in line. It's a bit sad, really. We've built this amazing civilization based on human effort, and then we give all the credit to the manager who hasn't shown up for a shift in 2 millennia. Number 5, we have the God-shaped hole. Then there is the God-shaped hole theory. People look at us with this pitying expression, like we're walking around with a missing limb. They think we're trying to fill this void with science or hobbies or too much Netflix. But here's the thing. My life is incredibly full. I've got my work, my friends, my family, the smell of rain on a hot pavement, a really great steak. I'm not feeling like I'm a missing puzzle piece. In fact, the world gets more vibrant because I think this is the only shot we get. It makes every moment heavier, more precious. It's not empty, it's just honest. The hole isn't in us, it's in the expectation. If you spend your whole life being told that you need a specific brand of shoes to walk, the moment you take them off, you feel like you're going to fall over. But after a while, you realize your feet work just fine. You aren't missing the shoes. You just realize that you never needed them to begin with. Humans have a hard time with enough. We always want more. More life, more meaning, more cosmic significance. We can't just enjoy the sunset. We have to believe the sunset was painted specifically for us by a giant artist in the sky. It is the ultimate narcissism disguised as humility. Atheists are just the ones saying, actually, this sunset is just physics, and that makes it even cooler. Right, number 6, we have science is your religion. Oh, the science is your religion line. It's usually dropped as a gotcha when we cite a study or talk about evolution. But science isn't a list of things you must believe. It's a method for not fooling yourself. It is a process of asking questions and being willing to throw out the old answers when the better ones come along. Religion says, here's the truth. Now don't you dare question it. Science says, here is our best guess so far. Please try to prove us wrong. Those are polar opposites. If science proved tomorrow that there was a creator, most skeptics would say, incredible, show me the data. Religion, on the other hand, tends to get a bit Bernie when the science proves it wrong. Calling science a religion is like calling health a disease. It's a total misuse of the word. We don't worship Darwin, we just recognized he was onto something. We don't pray to the Big Bang, we just study the background radiation because it is there and it is interesting. It is an astute observation of humans that we can make science look like a religion. It is a defensive crouch. It is the intellectual equivalent of saying, I know you are, but what am I? Number 7, we have 7 here. This one gets a sigh. You are so closed-minded. Why won't you just consider the possibility? Trust me, most atheists have considered the possibility. In fact, many of us grew up in religious homes, went to Sunday school, and read the books. We didn't leave because we were closed to the idea. We left because we opened our minds wide enough to see the holes in the logic. Being open-minded doesn't mean letting your brain fall out. It means being willing to accept new information if it is backed up by evidence. I am open to the idea that there are aliens, or that I might win the lottery, or that my cat is actually plotting my demise. But I am not going to build my life around those things until I see some proof. Humans love to use open-minded as a synonym for gullible. If I don't believe your specific claim about a talking bush or a winged horse, I'm the closed one. But the burden of proof is on the person making the wild claim. If I told you I could fly, you wouldn't be closed-minded for asking me to jump off the curb and prove it. It's a bit of funny human psychology. We demand absolute proof for everything in our lives. Our bank balances, our medical results, our car warranties. But when it comes to the biggest question in the universe, we suddenly think just feeling it is a valid standard of evidence. It's a massive double standard. And calling it out doesn't make us closed-minded, it makes us consistent. Number 8, atheism is a religion. Then there is the atheism is a religion claim. This one is the ultimate eye roller. As the saying goes, if atheism is a religion, then bald is a hair color. Look at these lovely golden locks. Not collecting stamps is a hobby. It is the absence of something, not the presence of something. We don't have a pope. We don't have a creed. We don't have a holy book. Some people think it might be the selfish gene, which thanks, but it's a bit dry. We don't gather on Sundays to sing songs about how much we don't believe in things. We just live. The only thing atheists have in common is one single answer to one single question. Beyond that, we're as different as everybody else. The reason people want to call it a religion is because it makes it easier to box us in. If it is a religion, you can demand equal time or religious exemptions. You can treat it as just another opinion in a marketplace of ideas. But atheism isn't an opinion. It is a conclusion based on a lack of data. It tells you everything you need to know about humankind that we struggle to even imagine a life without a box. We are so used to being part of a team, a political party, a sports fandom, a faith, that when someone says, I am not on a team, we insist they must be the no team team. We are obsessed with labels because they save us from having to actually get to know a person. Number 9, I will pray for you. Now let's talk about I will pray for you. This one is tricky because 90% of the time it's meant with genuine kindness. It's someone's way of saying they care. But context is everything. Sometimes it's dropped like a passive-aggressive bless your heart. It's a way of saying I'm right, you're lost, and I'm going to ask my manager to fix you. It's a bit patronizing, isn't it? It's like if I told you that your car was broken and instead of helping me to change the tire, you said, I'll think really hard about your car's engine tonight. It doesn't fix the car, and it kind of implies that I'm too incompetent to handle my own business. And let's be honest, if prayer worked the way that people think it does, the hospitals would be empty and every flight would land 10 minutes early. But we don't see that. We see a world that behaves exactly how you'd expect a world without divine intervention to behave. So when someone says they'll pray for me, I don't know. It just rubs me up the wrong way. Number 10, the nihilism accusation. So finally, the big one. If there is no God, life is meaningless. This is the ultimate doom and gloom take on atheism. People think that if we aren't part of some cosmic drama, then we must be miserable nihilists who think that nothing matters. But it's actually the opposite. If this is the only life that we get, then this life has its own meaning. It's like a limited edition book versus a mass-produced flyer. If you think you're going to live forever in a perfect paradise, then this life is just a waiting room. You are just checking your watch until the real show starts. But for an atheist, the waiting room is the whole damn theater. We find meaning in the things we create, in art, in science, in the way we love our fellow man and help our friends. Meaning isn't something that's handed down from a throne. It's something we manufacture ourselves, like electricity. And that's much more impressive, isn't it? That a bunch of evolved apes can find profound beauty in a cold and indifferent universe. Humans are so afraid of nothingness that we'd rather invent a master plan than admit we are the ones in charge of the map. We want to be characters in a story, but atheism says we are the authors. And sure, being the author is a lot more hard work. You have to figure out the plots yourself, but at least you don't have to worry about the author writing you out in the next chapter. It's our story. Let's make it a good one. So yeah, that's my list. I'm not saying this to be a buzzkill at the next family dinner. I'm saying it because I think the world would be a much better place if we stopped trying to fix each other and started actually listening. We don't want to be argued into a corner. We don't want to be pitied. We just want to be seen as the normal, slightly sarcastic, and perfectly happy people that we actually are. It's all about mutual respect. You keep your prayers, I'll keep my physics, and we can both enjoy the braai. Does that sound like a plan? Good. Now, who's in charge of the fire?